let's unpack this. Directions Credit Union, you might know them, has just teamed up with something called the Metal Blockchain Banking Innovation Program. Now, you might be thinking, blockchain, why should I care about my credit union getting into that?
Right, and it's actually really interesting seeing a traditional financial institution like a credit union exploring this kind of tech.
Yeah.
Because it has the potential to fundamentally change, well, quite a bit about how banking works. We're not just talking small tweaks here.
No, exactly. This could be like significant shifts in transaction speed, security, maybe even the services they offer.
Think of it like your local credit union potentially adopting some of the underlying technology that powers digital assets, but, focused on traditional finance.
Right. So our sources for this are mainly a press release from Metallicus.
Yeah.
They're the ones running the program, and also some info from the Metal Blockchain website.
Got it.
And our mission today really is to dig into what this banking innovation program actually is, why a credit union like Directions would, take this step, and what the potential effects could be. For them, sure, but also for you as a member or, maybe a future member.
Okay, so starting with the news itself. The announcement dropped May 19th, 2025. Highlights the partnership. Directions Credit Union and Metallicus.
And Metallicus, it's worth noting, they really position themselves as specialists in blockchain for financial institutions. That focus seems pretty key.
It does. It suggests they understand the specific needs, the regulations.
Yeah, and it's not just casual interest from Directions either. They specifically said they see blockchain as a powerful tool for enhancing traditional finance. And they're looking to Metallicus for the expertise to, help them do that. Sounds like they want to stay ahead technologically.
Absolutely. And there's actually a quote from Jonathan Pollock. He's the chief risk officer at Directions.
Oh, yeah. What'd he say?
Well, he talked about their enthusiasm, saying it aligns perfectly with their mission, to provide innovative and secure financial solutions, standard mission stuff. But then he also pointed to goals like boosting operational efficiency.
Efficiency. Always important.
Right. And offering cutting-edge services. So that gives you a window into their thinking. They want new stuff, basically.
Okay, so Directions definitely sees potential upside. Let's shift to Metallicus then, this banking innovation program. What actually is it? What's the quick pitch?
Well, according to Frank Massa, he's the director of blockchain for institutions and fintechs. The program is essentially designed as an incubator.
An incubator, okay.
Yeah, helping institutions like Directions develop and test out blockchain solutions specifically for banking. He also mentioned it's part of this growing network credit unions, CUSOs.
CUSOs, right, the cooperative orgs for credit unions.
Exactly, and fintechs too. So it's building a bit of an ecosystem.
Interesting. An incubator for blockchain in banking. Sounds like a space to experiment, develop things. What's the end goal for the institutions that join, according to Metallicus?
So Matza explained that as these institutions go through the program and actually start implementing some of these use cases, they get connected to something called the digital banking network and the hoped-for outcomes. Lower transaction costs, more streamlined operations internally, and, ultimately better member services.
Okay, so it's practical. It's about putting blockchain to work. And you mentioned regulations before. These aren't just generic solutions, right? The announcement said customized solutions that stick to rules like BSA compliance. That feels essential for finance.
Oh, absolutely critical. You can't just throw blockchain at banking without thinking about compliance. So the program emphasizes building solutions that fit their operational needs and meet all those regulatory requirements.
Makes sense.
And they've even highlighted specific specific use cases they're focusing on.
Okay, yeah, what kind of applications are we talking about?
Well, several key ones.
Oh.
Stablecoins, the crypto pegged to traditional currency, like the dollar.
Right.
They're also looking at cryptocurrency itself, maybe offering related services. Then there's digital identity. They could make KYC and verification way more efficient, potentially more secure too.
The identity part is interesting.
Yeah. Then SSO, single sign-on, simplifying access across different services. Private subnets, basically secure. Private networks on the main.
A lot.
How so?
Well, now we're seeing stablecoins used to move billions, literally billions of dollars in transactions every day.
Wow. Okay.
It's become a really significant part of how digital payments are actually happening right now.
Absolutely. And, that's exactly why we're diving in today. This isn't just for the crypto enthusiasts anymore, is it?
Not at all.
This has real, tangible implications for traditional finance and, crucially, for credit unions and, well, the services they provide to you, the listener.
Exactly.
Blockchain.
Okay.
And finally, tokenization of assets. So representing ownership of real-world things like securities or maybe even real estate on the blockchain.
Wow. Okay. That's quite a range. Stablecoins, crypto, identity, SSO, private networks, tokenization. They're really covering a lot of ground there.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
Exploring the breadth of what blockchain might offer banking.
And for the institutions that actually implement this stuff, what's the expected return? What are they hoping to get out of it?
The goals seem pretty tangible. Increased profitability, lower operating costs, always a big one, better risk mitigation, and fundamentally just providing a better, smoother experience for their members. It's kind of a multi-pronged approach.
Okay, this digital banking network, TDBN, it keeps popping up. What exactly is that network? Why is it important?
So TDBN is Metallicus' own blockchain protocol. It's open source, designed specifically for banking. Think of it as the foundation layer for all this.
Foundation, okay.
And a key feature is that it lets banks and credit unions create their own private permissions sections, these private subnets we mentioned.
Right.
But, and this is important, they can still connect and interact seamlessly with other institutions on that same network. They call it bridgeless interoperability.
Bridgeless interoperability. Okay, so different banks, different credit unions, they can have their own secure space, but still talk to each other easily on the network.
Exactly. Which is a big deal because, traditionally, getting different banking systems to talk to each other smoothly can be a real headache. Lots of friction.
Yeah, tell me about it. So this could, solve some of those interbank communication issues?
That seems to be the idea. This interoperability could enable things like almost instant global payments, much better digital identity management across institutions, and even provide access to maybe some DeFi, decentralized finance products, but in a compliant way. The goal is really enabling these institutions to upgrade their services securely and smoothly.
Okay. Let's zoom out just a bit then to Metal blockchain itself. Beyond this specific program, what's their core offering? The website gives some clues, right?
It does. Yeah, if you look at their site, it's pretty clear. Blockchain for banking. That's the headline.
Right.
And they describe themselves as a BSA-compliant Layer 0 blockchain for financial institutions. Now, Layer 0 is a bit technical, but basically it's a foundational infrastructure. The base layer everything else is built on.
The absolute foundation. And it looks like they have different ways for institutions to get involved. I saw options like start building and join our innovation program.
Yeah, exactly. That suggests, different paths depending on where an institution is at. Start building probably targets those who maybe already have some blockchain know-how and just want to use the metal tech.
Right, they're ready to go.
Whereas the innovation program, that seems geared towards institutions like Directions, who maybe need more guidance, more support in figuring out how to actually use blockchain effectively.
Yeah.
It's the incubator approach again.
Okay, that makes sense. So pulling it all together, Directions Credit Union is taking this pretty significant step into blockchain through the Metal Blockchain Innovation Program.
Right.
This program helps them explore and potentially implement various blockchain applications, stablecoins, identity, etc., all within a compliant framework running on Metal's TDBN network. And the goals are, efficiency, security, and offering new, potentially better services to members.
That sums it up nicely. And for you, the listener, whether you bank with Directions or somewhere else, this kind of development signals, a potential evolution.
How so?
We could start seeing things like faster, maybe more transparent transactions, more secure ways to verify who you are online, maybe access to new kinds of financial products down the road, stuff that wasn't really feasible before.
It really does make you think, doesn't it? What other parts of our financial lives could blockchain, transform in the next few years?
Yeah.
And how collaborations like this one, a traditional credit union and a blockchain tech company, how will that actually shape the future of banking? Definitely something.